Welcome back and welcome to Life in the 70s. Let's get writing. I'm going to recap a little from my last clip for those of you who may be watching this for the first time on the big black void, which is where our inspiration, our creativity is buried. It tends to happen at some point in our adult life. It's all been learnt. And it becomes something that is covered over that we can't access. Jung called it the shadow or the unconscious. So how do you actually know it's there and how much it's affecting you? You know, if you take stock of the amount of times that you can say something negative about yourself or somebody else, particularly anything that says what you can't do or wish you could do or somebody else can do better than you. I spoke about how you access this and how you bring it out and what you're going to discover when you do. And I'm going to give you a little demonstration in a moment of what my process has been like working this. Because I began with an idea that I was way in over my head at trying to write a book. But I persisted, and I was able to persist simply because I'd learned something over the years as an artist. It's that experience that you have when you're working nothing, when you're digging into or starting to create from something that just isn't there. But the working of it brings it into the foreground and makes it accessible to you, which is what I did as an artist when I stood in front of a blank canvas or halfway through something and I hadn't a clue what I was going to do next. So as I explained to you before, I would walk around in circles, maybe go and have a cup of tea, but in the background it was still sitting there. I wasn't abandoning it. It took years, but I finally got the picture of what I was doing. So I began writing novel number 5 about, 3 weeks ago. After just playing with an idea, I had previously written 4. 2 of them are now being edited. And I'm going to also show you in a moment a little bit about another one that I found very easy to write. And that's why I'm going to give you some tips on how you can get started. So this is what my working it looks like. Papers of notes and things. Some of them are paper clipped together, just ideas. This was research that I did on a particular historical time frame involving a particular woman. A family tree who were going to be in the story. See, there's not even pages filled in. They're just jotted down notes. That's a situational context. Where is it going to take place? Where are the most common scenes in it? Cover notes. Some of them I possibly have never even referred back to. Each time I get something important, I start with a new page, so I keep them all separate because they're a separate idea that sooner or later are going to make connections and form into the book. 2 elements that I want in the novel. One will be a blue book and the other one will be the particular frame of a picture frame that's in the house, which I'm going to refer to and find a way of joining them together. Now I've got to the point after actually starting writing without really knowing where this was going to go. By about chapter 2, it just all started to come in. That is a complete, just get that right, chapter synopsis of every single chapter that's going to be in the book, a brief outline. And now I'm up to the stage of where I'm starting to write into it. That is not the finished book. That is just an outline and how I have learned to begin a draft manuscript. but it gives me a structure to work inside. So here's an idea of what you can do, and I'll show you that in a moment. This is from my life. This is just a proof copy of In the Realm of the Horse. I worked for many years rescuing horses, and at the same time I was painting horses. This is a story that I was able to write in a month because I was drawing from elements of my life. It was a kind of partly autobiography because it took about an area, over the years, for about 30 years of the life that I lived involved with abused horses. So that's what I'm going to suggest you do, is take elements of your life and write them down. Try to find a deeper context within them. Look for insights that you have gained and lessons that you have learned. Don't rush it. Just do it like I've done, or find your way of doing it and put little notes on pieces of paper. Just to recap what I'm sort of the message that I'm trying to get across to you on how you can do this. And it's not like going to a structured teach you to write course, because there's plenty of those around and they will teach you how to do that. What I'm sort of saying is where I'm coming from, and what I do is that you are the source of your creativity. Structured writing courses are excellent, and I use structured learning all the time to correct my grammar and that. But that is not the premise from which I work. I work from my inspiration, and that inspiration is in you and it's available to you. So don't in the beginning try to give it any structure. Just work it, and soon you'll find, as I showed you, something coherent will start to form. It will start to form a picture, and it will surprise you. It will surprise you in such a way that you'll think, as I've done, oh my God, where is this coming from? Did I do this? You did. Here's the point that I'm making, that hidden in the black void is all the inspiration that you will ever need in your life, all the creativity, all the ideas you will ever need in your life to do anything with. If you learn to just access it, and access in a way that requires a little bit of and sort of preliminary working. And remember the point I gave at the beginning. Work it when you don't think it's there. Find a way of writing things down or thinking about things, and you will be very soon very surprised at what starts to come through. So, where is the inspiration? The inspiration for most of us adults is in a big black area that we can't access. How do we access it? We start to work it without knowing what it is we're going to do. But the thing with using your own life is you'll find that you'll be able to sort of come up with an idea of characters you might want to write, like something like this, which will be a type of autobiography where you can separate a certain section of your life or the whole of it. Or you might do what I do with my novels. You find who you are, excuse me, through your life and the lessons you've learned, and you create characters and a whole story, of which I have written 4 novels, and every single one of those stories and characters I can identify with in some way. And it was very easy for me to write like that. So I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.